Hello, and welcome back to IELTS Talk, the podcast where we unravel everything about the IELTS exam to help you achieve your desired BAM score. I'm Sophie, and with me is my co-host, Alex. How are you today, Alex?
I'm great, Sophie. Super excited about today's episode because we're tackling something that so many IELTS test takers get wrong. Common myths and misconceptions about the IELTS exam. There are so many circulating myths, right?
Absolutely. It's almost like an urban legend at this point. You hear all these myths and think, that can't be true, but somehow they spread like wildfire. So, let's dive into the first myth.
Alright, myth number 1. You need to speak with a British accent to score high on the speaking test. I've heard this one too many times. What do you think, Sophie?
This one is super common and completely untrue. IELTS examiners don't care if you have a British, American, or even an Indian accent. What they focus on is your pronunciation, whether you're clear and easy to understand. You just need to speak confidently and clearly.
Exactly. The test is about communication, not mimicking a particular accent. In fact, IELTS examiners are trained to understand a wide variety of accents. So, don't stress about how you sound, just be yourself.
Absolutely. Now myth number 2. IELTS is easier if you take it in your home country. This is another big one.
Oh yes, I've heard this so often. The idea is that the IELTS exam is somehow easier in, say, India than in the UK, or that the examiners in your country will be more lenient. But in reality, the test is standardized worldwide. The difficulty level is the same, whether you take it in Tokyo, Toronto, or Mumbai.
Right. The examiners are trained to the same global standards, and the grading criteria don't change based on location. What might make a difference is your comfort level, though. You might feel more relaxed in a familiar environment, but the test itself, exactly the same.
Spot on. Alright, on to myth number 3. You need to use very complex vocabulary and long sentences to score high on the writing test. This one often leads to people overcomplicating things.
Yes, some students think the more difficult words they use, the better, but that's not true. In fact, using words incorrectly can actually lower your score. What the examiners want is accuracy. It's better to use simple, clear language correctly than to misuse complex words.
Absolutely. It's about being clear and concise. If you can show a good range of vocabulary in the right context, that's great. But never force it. The same goes for sentence structure. Long, convoluted sentences can confuse a reader. So, stick to what you're comfortable with.
Exactly. Moving on to myth number 4. The listening test is impossible because the recordings are too fast. What do you think about this one, Alex?
That's another huge misconception. Yes, the recordings in the listening test can feel fast, but they're designed to be at a normal conversational pace. The key here is practice. The more you listen to different English accents and practice timing, the more natural it'll feel.
Exactly. You also get a chance to preview the questions before the recording starts, so you can anticipate what information you need to listen for. It's all about technique and practice.
And remember, the recording only plays once. But if you train your ears well enough with practice, it gets easier to catch the key information. Alright, let's wrap it up with the last myth. You need to score the same in all sections to get a good band score.
That's a good one to end on because it causes unnecessary worry. Many people think that if they score a BAM 7 in reading, they also need a 7 in writing, speaking, and listening to get a good overall score.
Totally false. Your overall band score is the average of the 4 sections, so it's perfectly fine to score differently in each. For instance, if you get a 7 in reading and an 8 in listening, you can still achieve your target overall score.
Exactly. The key is to play to your strengths while improving your weaknesses. You don't need to be perfect across the board to achieve a great score.
And that's it for today's episode. Hopefully, we've cleared up some of these myths and given our listeners a clearer understanding of the IELTS exam.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Remember, don't fall for these myths. Stay focused on your preparation, and you'll do great. Until next time, happy studying.
Bye for now.